I got 2 Pokemon folders right now. 2 of these folders contain my first grade drawings, and I'm gonna pick them out and see which one I'm gonna 3D print. We got Gengar, Eevee, and then a Pokeball. So out of all these pictures, I'm obviously gonna pick. So I'm definitely gonna do this.
So right off the bat, I got started on setting up the reference image. So I start out shaping the Pikachu, making sure that the model is accurate to the drawing. I then extrude the flat piece at least 2 inches. And after that, I start tracing its face so that I can extrude it later on. After I finished modeling the 3D print, I had issues with it in the mesh mixer. After several hours trying to fix it, I finally got it to work. And I'm not gonna lie, I was extremely excited about it.
This is a isopropyl alcohol. You're gonna use this to wipe the bed to make sure it's nice and clean.
Before I start 3D printing, the first thing I like to do is extrude the leftovers.
There you go, guys. Look at her move. She's getting in there.
I always make sure to stay for the first layer when 3D printing, because you never know when it decides to mess up.
I forgot to mention, I like to use this lube. This is a lube I like to use for lubricating the machine. I was supposed to put them on before, but I'm just gonna put them on. Now because I forgot. Just make sure when you put them on while it's running, just don't hurt yourself, because you know, you have moving parts, so you don't want to get your hair tangled or something, you know what I mean? It's almost ready, guys. Almost ready. We're gonna go ahead and start sanding this. And then after we sand it with an 80 grit sandpaper, we're then gonna put putty on top of it and then sand it some more so we can smooth out this area for painting later. And also this area too, because you can see the print line. All right, so I hope you guys can hear me. So right now we're on the work desk. We're gonna go ahead and start painting the putty all over the print. Just take the worst brush that you don't like and actually start brushing it on. So you see how I made it? I'm gonna slap the putty on and I'm gonna sand it with a 220 grit later. I'm gonna go ahead and let this sit somewhere and let it dry up. All right, so everything is all dried up now, and now the next thing I gotta do is sand it with a 220 grit sandpaper. But the truth is, I don't know if you guys noticed from my videos that I've moved to a different apartment, and so basically now I gotta find a new spot to spray my primer. And this right here is how I spray paint some of my stuff. I'm trying to hurry up before I get caught by some sort of security, because right now I'm on top of a parking garage. Here, let me show you guys. So yeah, right now I'm on top of a parking garage because there's like no other better place to do it at. All right, so we're back inside now. The next step is actually gluing them all together. This shouldn't take too long. After I glue them, I'm gonna have to weld them after. Everything dried up pretty quick. So let me go ahead and put this on, only because I don't want to get too dirty. even though this thing is covered in dirt already, so I'm probably gonna get dirty regardless, but whatever, it's okay. So right now I'm just setting up the air purifier because it's gonna get a little bit smelly in here. And so, all right, so safety first, safety glasses. I know it's not a big deal, but I don't want anyone to look at this and hurt themselves if they try to do something the same. So yeah, just always be safe. You never know. Always have a mask, have an air purifier, do something to make yourself safe. Anyway, let's go ahead and get started. So you guys remember these bunch of filaments that I saved up over here? Like all this mess right here, this garbage? Well, the reason why I didn't throw them away is because I'll show you why. So you see how there's like seams and cracks in here? What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna actually melt the filaments onto the cracks and seams and just weld them together, Even though it's put together with glue, I want to make sure that all the seams and cracks are filled with plastic so that everything will be one solid piece. And then to reinforce it, I'm also going to be welding the back of the back of this too. So it's not too bad right now. The next thing I gotta do is I gotta sand it now with 80 grit sandpaper. And then we're gonna slap some more putty on top of it. Hello folks. All right, so next thing I gotta do is now I'm gonna have to putty this whole thing. Well, not the whole thing, but technically just the area that I sanded. So let me go ahead and get that started. All right, so I got him painted on, and now I'm just gonna let him dry up and probably finish sanding him tonight. So yeah, give it a couple hours to let it dry. So same thing again, we're gonna do a 220 grit sandpaper just to get rid of the little bumps from the putty, but 220 grit sandpaper. Okay, so right now I got everything all set up. Everything's already sanded. The next thing to do is spray it again and see if there's any scratch marks or anything like that. I got everything all spray painted. Now the only thing I gotta do next is I'm gonna have to get the color to match with this. So I'm gonna go ahead and pick the color and paint it on. Alright guys, I hope you guys liked the video. If you want to see more stuff like this, you can check out these two videos above. Alright, see you guys later.